The Buffalo Parent-Teacher Organization is calling for a virtual start to the school year. Keith and Madison, marchers here on Niagara Street are chanting no more violence and no more silence. Residents say that shouldn't be the case because cars aren't allowed to park on this side. They want the line shifted so there's more room on the other side of the street. Absolute Performance set up an outdoor workout area today before the governor's announcement. Within the last hour, there were about 200 parents and students here outside the school district offices, like you saw in that video, chanting on the door. The city says that's exactly why they did this, opening up this block of Chippewa from Franklin to Delaware Avenue to expanded outdoor dining. You see the parking spots are now part of these restaurant patios. Some promising news from Governor Andrew Cuomo's briefing here at Roswell Park. Sitting on couches in stadium seats and in rocking chairs, the Bills' 8:15 primetime game would end after these restaurants are required to close. Armstrong says many riders have to travel elsewhere for better riding conditions. But just a few feet away, Niagara Square, protesters have spent the past week and a half demanding police accountability. And now a common counselor is demanding it too. Dr. Russo says those vaccine initial trials did not include any children. But Jeff, he says there are trials right now in the very early stages that do have children in them. There's not much open on Christmas but the slopes. So did warm weather hurt the conditions? Preying on the vulnerable. That's how Buffalo police describe the home invasions targeting the elderly living in these homes near Military Road and Austin Street in the city's Black Rock neighborhood.
My husband screamed, "You don't live here. You don't live here."
Ronnie Fox recalls the moment.
"Give me the money. Give me the money."
Intruders broke into her home in Buffalo's Black Rock neighborhood. The suspect left her husband with these bruises.
He's going to kill my husband in front of me.
Buffalo police are investigating multiple home invasions targeting the elderly near Military Road and Austin Street. They say the suspects knock on doors posing as contractors, offering to do housework, and then return that night or within the following days to rob the home.
Earlier in the day, someone had come to my house asking if they could shovel the walk for money, and said they needed $30 because their mother had died and they wanted a necklace.
She says later that night, the suspects stole more than $2,000, but then
they've broken in again.
A second invasion this Monday around 5 a.m. He ripped the doorknob.
He ripped the metal apart.
Two men in this surveillance video walking away, this time with the couple's soundbar. She's not sure if the men seen here were part of the first incident. Early Wednesday morning, about a block away, another invasion. Family members say 77-year-old Norm Farner was beaten with a crowbar while trying to protect his wife.
He's a tough old bird. He fought him off. He disarmed it, got the crowbar away from him, and he got beat up pretty good. He has 7 stitches inside his face.
Buffalo Police Captain Jeff Ronaldo with this warning tonight.
Unless you are specifically contacting a contractor or soliciting this work, do not allow anybody into your home. And as far as for elderly people, we would recommend don't even open the door for somebody that you didn't specifically call to your house.
How do you solve a nearly 40-year-old cold case?
It's been very hard for us to not have any movement with her case because of the fact that we have a facial photograph of her.
A photograph for the world to see on this Jane Doe Chautauqua County Facebook page.
She is completely identifiable.
This method was unimaginable when Jane Doe was found murdered along Old Route 17 near Bemis Point in 1983.
We want to get her identified, get family some closure, and then hopefully that will give us some leads more into her homicide.
Many leads have failed over the years, but one connected crime scene investigator Christy Lyon with a law enforcement agency in Louisiana. The agency used a Facebook page for its Jane Doe. The case was solved. The page is Jane Doe's first-person account.
You get that intrigueness. People get intrigued by seeing that. That's something that's not seen every day.
Jane Doe might have had a child. Investigators believe she's from Canada or Europe based on dental work and an IUD that was only in 4 countries at the time.
Her clothing were of European and high-end, high quality.
Lyon is in touch with some of the original investigators.
They're the ones that really did this legwork. We're right now are the ones that have the technology to try to get her face out there.
Randy Vanderschaff was at the scene in 1983 and started working the case 2 years later.
Got involved with that until I retired in 2004.
He put her picture in international magazines, had a man falsely confess.
Well, being that she's never been identified, that really kind of sticks with you because you would think this day and age somebody's got to miss her somewhere.
The profile picture has nearly 150 shares. Lyons still works with international police and wants to submit DNA to a genealogy agency. So far, there's been no leads from the page, but investigators check it every day.
We're hoping that it's just going to go viral and somebody's going to recognize her.
Vanderschaft comments on photos of the scene. Quote, "After all these years, it would be nice to give her a name." Gilat Melamed, 7 Eyewitness News. Every stroke of chalk, all the finishing touches, and the dust on his knees to show for it. 5-year-old Gavin Hallis draws away so people walking by his East Amherst driveway can feel
happy. Super happy.
Hallis and his mom started writing daily messages for their neighbors back in April.
Hi neighbors, enjoy your walk.
But now, Gavin writes jokes, spanning from one end of the driveway
What did Dalmatian say after lunch?
to the other,
That hit the spot.
putting a smile on people's faces in between.
It just makes us feel a little warmer inside and happy.
Gavin got into comedy following an assignment in his kindergarten class. Everyone had to tell a joke over Zoom.
Why did the phone go to the doctor?
Why?
Because it had to remove its Bluetooth.
His was a hit. His mom, Jolene Hallis, reads him jokes from the internet every night. Gavin picks the best one, and his mom helps him outline the letters. At the end of the day,
every night before I go to bed, I come out and hose it off so it's ready for the morning.
He's the cleanup crew.
The impact of the jokes is more than just a laugh.
We write these jokes of kindness. We found that people started doing things back for us, didn't they?
Yeah.
She says strangers have sent them chalk, a joke book, and thank you letters. If you can't make it to his driveway, you can find his jokes on YouTube.
What do you call people that take care of chickens?
The act of kindness may have begun due to COVID-19, but Gavin says it will continue.
Forever.
In East Amherst, Gilat Melamed, 7 Eyewitness News.